Hello and welcome, this is Mousegunner, and we're back with some more of the Beast and Exploration DLC for Battle Brothers, picking up right where we left off in the last video, in the middle of a battle. I'm going to go ahead and turn the corner here, and let's go for the stun. There we go, we got it. Oh, okay. Full arm guy coming after us. Let's go ahead and chop him down. Down he goes. We're doing a good job of affecting their morale. We might be able to get them to flee. Yeah, let's go after stun guy. I do have the advantage that they don't have a lot of head protection. Yeah, alright, we're already getting them to flee. I'm just gonna try and kill him. If I can. We can be aggressive here, because we did a good number on them. Go after this guy. Wow, I'm doing a lot of missing here. Okay. Sadly, we don't only have an attack on this guy, but we'll take it. Because if he dies, it'll affect the morale of others. Let's hold for the meantime. Okay, big hit there. A hold. Again, we want to kill this guy before he gets a chance to go. We whiffed there. Alright, so we reloaded. This guy hasn't gone yet. So if I step to here, I should be able to shoot at him. And he's really the best candidate to shoot at. And he's dead. Perfect. A hold. Okay, step in. Let's go for this guy's head. And miss. Okay, step in here, try and finish this guy off. Down he goes. Yeah, let's step down a little bit. There's really only one guy left. This is pretty much over. We really just have to get in and kill him. He's standing firm. He must have really good resolve. The fact that he's watched all of his buddies die and it didn't bother him too much. Alright, well, let's bother him. There we go. Okay, so not a bad battle. Did anybody take any damage whatsoever? Not that I see. I think a couple of our shields got bashed up, but that's about it. Not a lot of equipment. Useful equipment, anyway. A peaceful sort of ruin is made of the dead, like it was their natural state, stiffened and at a permanent loss, and their whole living was but a fleeting fit of an accident finally come to an end. That helm comes up and asks if you're all right. You're not sure, to be honest, and simply answer that it is time to go see Dirk the Steward. Okay, well, off we go. Nice simple battle there. You return to Dirk the Steward, looking rightfully smug. You're done. Your work's done. He nods, tipping a goblet of wine while not necessarily offering it. Yes, the town is eternally grateful for your help. They are also monetarily grateful. The man gestures toward the corner of the room. You see a satchel of crowns there. 370 crowns, just as we had agreed. Thanks again, Sellsword. Okay, get our pay. So now that we've done that, let's take a look at the marketplace. So yeah, the cloth rolls are being sold for even less than they were being sold before, as is the bread, and the grains I think may have actually gone up in price. Well, I'm definitely going to pick up the cloth rolls, as I think that would be a wise idea, and I'll pick up a single loaf of bread. We'll sort all that stuff. Okay. I think that has concluded the business that we would like to do here. Alright, let's leave. Alright, where do we want to go at this stage? Well, I would like to go down to the south here, because I don't think I've been to any of these towns. Maybe to Erzberg, but definitely not the ones all the way down here in the south. So, that is the game plan. We're going to go to Sudburg first, see if the cloth rolls will sell for anything good there, and then we'll move on if they don't, and continue. We're not going to find any jobs at Sudburg, because it's a town or a city, or a fort, or whatever. I don't think there's anywhere to get building materials in the local location. Maybe somewhere down the south, but by the time we get back here, they may not actually have demand for it, so... Okay, so all I'm doing here is going to the marketplace and seeing if the cloth rolls will sell. They are selling for more than they're worth, and that's good enough for me, so I'm going to go ahead and sell them. And we just made ourselves a little bit of a profit. Things are still not priced particularly well here, although the javelins are being sold at a decent price, and we can't afford them. And I've been waiting to do this because it is kind of the strategy of how I wanted to build up my group. I wanted some kind of throwing weapon. And at this stage, I think financially speaking, this is going to be the easier thing to do. Now, one thing that's going to be a strain on me, the more ranged weapons I use, the more ammunition I'm going to need. So right now, it's not a problem because I only have 2 ranged characters, but the more I build up, the more it'll be a problem. I've done a build where as many guys as I could had javelins, and I went through ammunition like crazy. So it depends on how you build your men, exactly what the demands are going to be, but in this case... We probably don't need another Morning Star here, so we'll sell that. We definitely don't need a beat-up pitchfork. Otherwise, we're probably fine. Also, we should look at the men, see if we have any level ups. We have a handful here. Also, see how the injuries are progressing. I don't know if we've quite gotten to midday yet, so these may not have progressed at all, so... Let's just look at the level ups. So you are probably going to want to take Shield Expert. Let's see what your rolls are. Okay, good defensive rolls. You rolled well pretty much across the board. As a matter of fact, you rolled 3 or better on everything. I feel like we have to take the defense, because that's the one kind of weak point of this character. It's tempting to take maximum fatigue because we could improve the character if we did. But the melee skill is tempting too. But of all of our characters, this guy is actually a pretty decent spot. I think we take the fatigue because I think it's going to improve the character more. So I'll do that. And then we'll go ahead and also take the Shield Expert, which will improve defense even more. And then you're a good candidate to later give better equipment to. As a matter of fact, I say later, we could do that right now. Giving you better head protection probably be a good priority. So you could go upwards of 5 improvement. So we could give you the padded nasal helmet, and you'd be fine. So we'll do so. What about you? Well, you're not one of our normal frontline guys, which is the reason why you kind of have garbage equipment. Speaking of which, we have enough helmets now. I don't really need this ancient household helmet thing. We could probably switch over to, for example, one of these helmets. Like that guy. Alright, well anyway, let's do the level up. So you are just at a level... As a matter of fact, this is your first level up. Okay. Well, you rolled quite well on range combat. You rolled pretty poorly on just about everything else. If I remember correctly, this character that I took, I didn't really have any particular direction I wanted them to go in. They're mostly a backup. I think what we're going to end up taking here, it's tempting to take this because we could push them into that role of throwing crap, and they would be a decent backup for these guys. The problem is their melee skill is so bad. What do you do with that? And considering that they have 2 stars here, we could probably make this guy a backup archer at some point. It would take a number of levels to get there. But we need more backup frontliners, in my opinion. So let's go with the ranged defense, because that's an alright roll. Let's go with the melee skill, which is also an alright roll. You have very good fatigue, so I'm not really concerned too much about that. We could go with the resolve, because the resolve is kind of low on this guy. But I honestly think we take the range combat skill, because throwing crap is always good, having that possibility. And this guy will continue to be able to maybe progress in that regard. So, sure. We'll level him up in that regard. But I'm going to take Recover. This is one of those things where, because you don't know how you're going to use a character, you don't really know what's the best strategy. Because once you start going down a line of perks, kind of forces your hand a certain playstyle. And if I were to go with the, you're going to be a replacement for one of these guys, I would go fast adaptation without a doubt. And that would benefit me in just about every way. So it's tempting to take this because it could suit every need. Recovers can be pretty important, though, for a frontline combatant. I think I would take the fast adaptation just because it will be that more general skill that it's good everywhere. Regardless of what type of weapon we give you, regardless of where you are in the line, that's still going to be useful. So that's the strategy there. And then we have the 2 level ups here. So you have taken fast adaptation and student. So backstabber is probably the route for you. Yeah. So let's take a level up here. Well, this is an interesting choice, our group of choices. We rolled really well on initiative. I think we take the resolve. We would like to get most of our people above 40 if we can. I think I am going to take this. And then outside of that, what should I take? I'm thinking of the range skill, the range defense. Because it's not a great roll, but we are going to need some range defense. So I'll take that. All right. And then I'm going to take Backstabber, as I already mentioned, because that's a great skill for that character. All right, last character. So you've taken Quick Hands, you've taken Fast Adaptation. We are going to want you to have both melee skill and range skill and a lot of other skills. It's one of the reasons why having somebody be a javelin thrower, it's kind of a tricky thing to pull off because you need too many things. But we're going to go for it nonetheless. So in this particular case, what should we take? Well, there's a number of things here that could be useful. Rotation could be useful. You're already in the back line. We could rotate you in to take position. Brawny is always a good skill. Shield Expert can be good. You do have a shield after all. Backstabber is only melee, so it won't benefit the other skills that we may have. Well, let's see what we get first. So definitely we're taking the range skill. I'm not going to take a 1, so we'll ignore that. We rolled well in a lot of places. Fatigue. We rolled well in our defense. I feel like I have to take defense. You don't typically roll too well here, and this guy is actually looking pretty good on the defensive aspect of things. Alright, so as far as perks go, I'm tempted to take Brawny in your case because you're not a frontliner, but it would still benefit to have heavier gear than you have right now. And what this does is it lowers the penalty for wearing armor and helmet, which is usually pretty high. And we want these guys in the back to kind of be shock troops. Maybe not a skill I can take advantage of right now because of what equipment I have. So in that regard, it may not be the best. Now when we get to this level, the throwing mastery is kind of interesting, because what it does is it increases damage of a throwing weapon the closer somebody is. So if they're 2 tiles away, you get a bonus. If they're 3 tiles away, you get a bonus. And then 4 tiles is usually the max range of a throwing weapon, so you don't really get a bonus there. But it does benefit you. With the style of play that I do, in theory, we'll probably be throwing a lot of our javelins as we're in the back and our opponents are engaging our front line. So that range of 2 is exactly the range we're looking at. Yeah, it's a tough call which perk to take here, because I don't think any of these other abilities really benefit me too much for what we're trying to do. Not really. So, I mean, we could take Recover. That would have some applications, maybe even more useful than some of these other ones. But these guys are second liners, so yeah, I think I'm going to go ahead and go with Brawny. There's a number of different directions you could go with that. But we have bought javelins. The question is, who is the most skilled? You are. All right, well, there we go. So you put the sword in the belt, and then you grab this, put it there. And because we have the quick hands, we can switch between the two as a free action, which is great. Because if you run out of javelins, you're going to want to switch fast. If they tie you up, you can switch your weapons and immediately start hacking them up. So, you know, it really works well with this playstyle. Okay, so that's all our level ups and our other stuff. So let's get going. Okay. I'm glad that the first town we went to was a good place to sell the cloth. Okay, so that was our midday tick. So let's see how our injuries are progressing. All right, so the one guy lost his split nose, but otherwise these two guys are still injured. So they still should not be in the front line. All right, as the company takes a break, you decide to address the men. Brothers, I want everyone to know the Cursed are not just cutthroats and errand boys, but skilled fighters of the First Order. Word of our deeds must spread so that merchants and noblemen are begging us to take their contracts. What do you tell the men the company will set out to do? So let's see what we got. I'm not going to go with the noble houses yet. I want to travel places, but let's see what else we got. Let us set aside skirmishes for now and seek to defeat a group. Yeah, no, I think this one is the best one. We're going to travel all the different locations, because I actually want to know which ones we haven't traveled to yet. Okay, so we'll pause and it will tell us our list. So I have not been here, as I thought. We have not been to Steinberg, Rheinberg, the location we're about to go to. What about the towns that are down here? Have we not been... Yeah, we haven't been here. We haven't been... So we've been to No, Erzberg is on the list too. So all these places down the south we have not been to, which I'm not surprised about. But we've got a couple places, I think, up in the north. So Steinberg. All right, so for whatever reason, I skipped over that place. And then Rheinberg is the one up here. And I think that's everywhere. Steinberg, Rheinberg, and then the other places are all in the south, and the one location I'm about to go to right here. Okay, good to know. So we're going to be doing a little bit of adventuring here. We'll get detoured from time to time if there's a travel contract. But for the most part, we're going to continue with the goal of doing this quest. And of course, hacking down any bad guys that show up along the way. They do have a one skull contract here. Before we do any of that, there's no special effects going on, so nothing should be affecting the prices for the ill. Okay, tavern. Alright, a whole bunch of amber, but unfortunately it's being sold for more than it's worth, so I'm not going to pick any of it up. Fools and other things also being sold for more than they're worth. Yeah, prices in general are pretty bad here. Brains are sold for alright prices, but everything else, yeah, kind of bad. But I can remember that this place is a location... yeah, they have 2 amber collectors here, so I guess it's not too surprising that they have as much amber as they do. Okay, well that's one place checked off our list. Let's keep moving. We're going to go down to Erzberg now. And hopefully... Oh! Forgot there was a contract there. Let's go back. So focused on what was in the shops and where we need to go next, I didn't check the job. Okay, there's a 3 skull mission that has also showed up in the interim, and they now have raided, so I guess we know what that's all about. But let's do the 1 skull contract. I'm not really prepared to do 3 skull contracts too much unless I'm desperate. You come across a man leaning against a porch post. He hails you down. Radulf, the Burgomeister, has been looking for you, Sellsword. He's down yonder on the village communal. The stranger nods toward a large building a little ways along the road. I hope you do good, mercenary. The people of Kampfvater are wary of your sort, but that don't mean their hearts can't be won over. You step into Radulf, the Burgomeister's room, and he shoves a map in your face. Sellsword, time for you to go exploring. See this uncharted spot southwest of here in the region of Southwatch? Okay, so one thing I don't think I paid attention to the other time we had an explore mission is I didn't really pay attention to the regions, and this is somewhere this is something you can actually look at the map and figure out where they are. So I'm going to pay more attention to that. So Southwatch, that's where I need you to go and search for the crumbled homestead. Do you accept or not? All right, for the right price, we'll find it. He gesticulates with his hands, pointing at his fingers as if counting something, but it means nothing to you. Judging from experience, this is a good payment for the task. It's 300 crowns when the contract is done. I'm going to say we need to be paid more for that. He says no. I'm going to say accept the contract, but I'm not going to take it yet. I need some time to think about this, because we want to actually see where Southwatch is. And that was a mistake I made that one time I did an exploration mission, is I did not do that first. Alright, so let's see. Southwatch. See? And that's just something I'm actually very grateful. One of my commenters pointed out that there's a lot of names of locations, and that was the one thing that they kind of said, because I think the one thing it said Bronze Flats, and they mentioned that it was down here on the map. I may be misremembering the exact location, but that was what they mentioned. So, so he said southwest, right? Yeah, Southwatch, right there. So that's not too far away, thankfully. So that's something we could probably do. I expect it to be in like one of these areas where the map isn't uncovered, because that seemed to be what it was like last time. But in any case, it's a good point to go ahead and put a cut in the video. I hope you guys have enjoyed. This is Mouse Gunner, signing out.